Yeah, yeah. Good evening, all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yes.
Clear, sir.
Fine, thank you. Okay. So Python was introduced in the year 1989. Why all of a sudden Python has got a great boom and the reasons which makes it super popular, reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. So before I go with the PSF, Python Software Foundation, Python versions and installations, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Most of the programmers or developers are migrating towards Python because of its very less coding as compared with any other programming, very less coding, not even one-fourth coding as compared with other programming. And that too simple syntaxes given by Python, simple syntaxes given by Python, which looks like normal English statements. And mm, very less coding, simple syntaxes, mm, multiple programming features, multi-programming features or multiple programming features. What all the features we see in different other programmings, all the features you are going to see here in Python, because of which we call Python as a hybrid language. Interactive mode, we can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives the output, the result. Interactive, this kind of interaction you cannot see in any other programmings. Wide varieties of applications, any kind of applications, any kind of applications we can develop today by using Python, like automation applications, web applications, animation, gaming, networking, desktop applications, embedded applications, right? It has got many built-in libraries. It has got many built-in libraries, right? Yes. Nearly 89,300 inbuilt modules has got for different environments, whatever environment you are from, right? Python is providing module, right, for each and every environment. One second. I can say Python is a general purpose, it's not for purpose based. It is a general purpose programming. It is general purpose programming. It is not for purpose based. And it is a high level language. It is a high level language, right? And platform independent, platform independent, platform independent or portable, platform independent or machine independent, can run on all the hardware and all the operating systems. It is interpreted language, line by line execution, right? Which makes debugging easy. And finally, can say it's a user friendly programming or programmer friendly programming, you can say, right? Programmer friendly programming. So these are the reasons which makes Python super popular, right? Yes. Now, before I go with this, and you need to know something about PSF. PSF, Python Software Foundation, right? Yes. Python Software Foundation. Yes, PSF. Yes. It is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization, right? Devoted towards the Python community. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year. It was launched in the year 2001. It was launched in the year 2001, right? The main objective, the main objective is to foster the development, of Python. And in the year in the year 2005, Python Software Foundation received Computer World Horizon Award. Computer World Horizon Award, right? Yes. In the year 2005, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award. And the president for this, Guido van Rossum, the same personality who introduced Python is the same personality, is the president for this PSF. And headquarters, Delaware, right? US. Official website, right? Official website for Python, python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download Python. Now, before I go with this, you need to know something about the Python versions. Python versions. Python 1.x version, right? Was released in the year 1989. Python 2.x version, right? Was released in the year 2000. Python 3.x version, right? Was released in the year 2008. The version what we are using currently is okay, 1.x version, 2.x, 3.x. Latest version of Python. Okay. Latest version of Python. Python 3.13. Stable version of Python. Stable version of Python. Python 3.12. Stable version, nothing but mostly used version. Yes. So this regarding this Python versions. Next, Python installation. Hardly it takes 2 minutes to install Python. I'll say step by step how to download and install Python. So yes, before I go with the installation, right? So I'll go to the settings, apps and features. So scroll down to this Python 3.13, right? 3.13. I'll uninstall it and I'll reinstall it from the starting, how to download and how to install it. So Python is providing different softwares for different environments. For Windows, for Linux, for Mac OS. For Linux, no need of any installation. By default, Python comes as inbuilt along with the Linux, right, operating system. No need of any special installation for it. Automatically, it is going to be coming along with that installation, right? But for Mac OS and for Windows, we are supposed to download and install Python, right? And for Windows, Python is providing two softwares for Windows 32-bit and for Windows 64-bit. It is going to provide separate softwares. So If your Windows is a 32-bit, you need to download 32-bit Python software. If your Windows is a 64-bit, you need to download 64-bit Python software. Okay. So how will you check whether your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit? So just I'll minimize this, let that uninstallation go. Just go to this file explorer, go to your PC or this computer, right? Right click on this PC, right click on this PC and say properties. You can see here, right? 64-bit operating system, 64-bit operating system, system type. So if you are using older versions of Windows like Windows 7, Windows 8, you have got 32-bit, then you need to download 32-bit Python software. So yes, just close this, go back here, uninstallation was successful, close this. Now for downloading Python, what is the official website I said? Python.org. Python.org is the official website from where I can download, I can install Python, right? Yes. So go to python.org, python.org, I can say, enter. Okay. Here you can see downloads. In the downloads, you can see all releases. Within this all releases, right? Scroll down. You can see active Python releases. Don't go for that. Go for looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific release. You can see the releases from the last 20 years. You can see all the releases from the last 20 years, since 2001 onwards. Since 2 version onwards, you can see all the Python releases. So 3.13, the latest version, released on October 7th, 2024, sorry. Click this 3.13, Python 3.13, you can click it. You can see the list of files. If you scroll down to the bottom, yes, you can see the list of files. For Mac OS 64-bit universal installer, you can download it. For Windows 64-bit, you can just click it. For Windows 32-bit, if you click this 64-bit, yes, your download started. Can you see here? Your download started. Just 26.9 MB of size. Python 3.13, just almost 27 MB of size. Once you click the exe file or go to your downloads folder and click that exe file. So don't immediately go with the installation. At the bottom, you can see add Python to path. Click that add Python to path. Click add Python to path. Add Python to path. Hmm. And adding Python to path variable of OS and go for customize installation. Go for customize installation. Documentation pip ideally Python test suite. Yes. Say next. Say next. So nothing to select here. All this you are going to get. Just to say next. Here also create shortcut and add Python to environment variables. And you can see the installation location, where it is getting installed by default in C, in users, in Dell, in app data, local, programs, Python 313. Tomorrow, if you want to locate where exactly your Python is installed, it's too difficult to write because of this many subdirectories. So remove all this, right? Remove all this. Just install Python in my C drive. So C/Python 313. What is the 313? 3.13. A folder with the name Python 313, it is going to be created. A folder with the name Python 313 is going to be created. Yes. Automatically, and just say install. So automatically it is going to be downloaded and installed. Okay, just it takes some time, right? Yes, just a second. Yes, setup was successful, right? Now, how will you check whether it is successfully installed or not? Bottom search panel, type CMD and say enter. You will get this command prompt. You will get this command prompt, right? Type Python. Type Python and say enter. It should display the Python version that you have installed. And can you see this three arrow symbol? Three arrow symbol, right? This is the Python interpreter where you can type any valid Python statements. And you can interact with Python statement by statement. Here you can display the Python version and the interpreter where you can type and check. Yes, I'm asking Python, what is 3 plus 5? 23 into 45. X has 10, Y has 4, Y has 3. What is X? What is Y? What is X plus Y? What is X minus Y? X into Y. X by Y. So X into 2, 10 into 2, X to the power of 10 square. X equal to hello. X into 3, prints hello for 3 times. X into 7, prints hello for 7 times. So in this way, any valid Python statements you can type and check, right? It is going to give that a result. Just say quit to come out of this, right? Yeah. So if anyone working with the Linux environment, if you want the latest version of Python to be installed in your Linux machine, so that everything you are going to do from the root user, sudo apt-get install Python 3.13. It's 3.13. If it is not working, you can go with 3.12. Okay. So just Python, this is what Python installation successfully installed. It's working fine. Python execution modes. Python execution modes. Two modes of executions. Two modes of executions, right? Yes. Python execution modes, two modes of executions. One is interactive mode. Second is batch mode. Interactive mode and batch mode. Here, interactive mode. Here, we directly type Python statements. Here, we directly type Python statements on the interpreter. Here, we directly type Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact. Just now I said, right? Yes, here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter, and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. Just now I discussed, right? Here, this is the same thing. Here we type statement by statement. User easily interact with Python statement by statement. What is the advantage of interactive mode? To check the functionalities of Python. Doesn't know about any Python functionalities, you can type here and check what output it is going to provide. Based on that, you can easily analyze to check the functionalities of Python. To check the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. So, but to develop applications in Python, this interactive mode won't work. We need to go for batch mode. Batch mode means here we write set of statements, or batch of statements within the editors or IDEs, integrated development environments that we use in real time. I'll say what are the various IDEs. And save it by using .py extension. Save it by using .py extension. And later submit it to Python. We write a set of statements within the editors or IDEs. Save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python. What are the various editors where we can write the Python code? Various editors. Within the notepad you can write. Within the notepad you can write the Python code and create a .py file. Within the edit plus you can write. Yes, within the VI, within the nano, right? Notepad, edit plus, VI, nano. Yes. Okay. So these two are for Windows, with these two are for Linux environment, writing the Python code and creating a .py file. But in real time, we use various IDEs, integrated development environments, like PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans. See, PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, VS Code, VS Code. PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, and VS Code. These are the various IDs, right, where we can write, we are using in the real time. So you may ask why this many IDs, why not one or two IDs? As Python is used in different environments using different IDs. Like data science, it uses Jupyter Notebook, Spider, and even for big data, like using Spider, Jupyter, and typical web applications which uses PyCharm, VS Code, right? In this way, different environments using different IDs, right? So I'll be showing you in multiple IDs, not on a single IDE. So like on different IDs like PyCharm, Jupyter, Spider, all this. Okay. So among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used IDE. PyCharm is the mostly used IDE, right? Yes, for Python. Okay, fine. So now let me show you like developing the first Python application within a editor. Developing the first Python application within a editor. I'll show you in multiple ways how you can execute these codes. In editor, I'll be showing you. In IDE, I'll be showing you. In IDLE, I'll be showing you. Right. In PyCharm, in Jupyter, in VS Code. Example like Notepad. Example like Notepad. Open Notepad. Open Notepad and type the following Python statements. As of now, I didn't discuss anything about Python. So just I'll take two values, x as 10, y as 20. I want to perform arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? X plus y, x minus y, x into y, x by y. Yes. So these things I'm going to write within the notepad, right? And paste it here, right? And save it. Save it. Yes. So I created a separate folder for this batch, Python 7 p.m. batch. Within that, I'll save it as sample1.py. Sample1.py extension, right? Yes. So here I'm saying, right, save as, save as sample1.py, save as sample1.py, and now submit, this file to Python. Okay, just you have written some code within the notepad, save it as some .py extension. Now submit the file to Python. How we are going to submit the file to Python? At the bottom search panel, type cmd and go to the command prompt. Type cmd and say enter, go to the command prompt. Type Python and don't say enter. If you say enter, it will go to interactive mode. and give the path where your file is available. Where your file is available, Python 7 p.m. batch, within the Python 7 p.m. batch slash sample1 dot py. Python within the C drive, Python 7 p.m. batch sample1 dot py. Right? Say enter. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. So just addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, right? Yes. Okay, fine, that's fine. But here, what is your observation? Okay, just you given Python and give the entire file path in which the file name present in which folder, present in which drive, the entire path submit to Python. But here, what is your observation? But here, we are writing the code. We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. Executing at the other place. But to write and execute, at the same place, we have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, using which we can write and execute. We can write and execute. Using which we can write and execute in the same place. So, but to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with the Python installation. Using which we can write and execute at the same place. Okay, fine. So what is this IDLE? Where you can see this IDLE? And how can you write in the same place and execute at the same place? Here we are writing within the notepad. We are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place, but writing and executing at the same place. Just in the search, type IDLE. You can see IDLE Python 3.13. Click it. Python shell gets opened in this way. Python 3.13. This is that you can work with interactive mode. You can type in interact, but I doesn't want interactive mode. I want a batch mode. Say file, new file. Write your code here. Run your code. Run option is there. Yes, that's it. First, before that, save your file. Save your file. Python 7 p.m. batch. Sample2.py. Right. Now run this. Run module. 10 plus 20. Okay. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Okay, fine. So writing the code here itself, running the code here itself, right? Same. No need to write at one place and executing at the other place, right? Fine. So, fine. Next, I'll take this 10 minutes more before I go with this. So, just I'll go introduction to this Python data types and variables. Python data types and variables. So, every organization, right? Every organization use case has got data and operations. Every organization use case has got data and operations. Data represented. Data represented using data types, variables. Operations represented using functions. Data represented using data types and variables. Operations represented using functions, right? For example, any organization, let's take the example of a bank. Bank has got data and operations, data like customer data, customer name, account number, address, balance, branch. So the data represented using data types and variables, operations, deposit operations, withdraw operations, transfer operations, represented using functions. Later I discuss about the functions. As of now, data types and variables. Just observe this. Mm. If you compare with other programmings like C or C++ or Java, comparison with Python. Python supports dynamic data types. Python supports what? Dynamic data types. So what is dynamic data types? Right. Before that, if you want to create some variables using this other language, we say int x equal to 10, float y equal to 4.5, string z equal to hello. Without this data type defining, you cannot create the variables x, y, z, right? But in Python, no need to define the data type. Directly, I'll say x as 10. Directly, I'll say y as 4.5, z as hello. No need to define the data types in Python. What kind of variable x is here? Based on this data type, you are saying it as integer. What kind of variable y is based on the data type defining? You are saying it as float. What kind of variable z is based on this data type defining? You are saying it as a string type, right? Right. Now x equal to 10. Whenever I'm saying x equal to 10, right? Yes. What kind of variable x is in Python means what value you are assigning to it. If you are assigning a integer variable is created dynamically during runtime. If you are assigning a float value, float variable, y is a float variable going to be created based upon what value you are assigning. Based on the value assigned, the variables are creating dynamically. That's why we call it as dynamic data types. Here in Python, there is a function given as type to know the type of the variable. What is type of x? Integer. Why it is integer? Because you have assigned a integer value. Type of y is float. Why it is float? You have assigned a float value. Type of z is what type? Yes, a string type, right? Yes, understood. Dynamic data types based on the value assigned, the variables are. So just to make you understand much better, I'll be discussing 4 cases. Just I'll take 5 more minutes. Fine. Observe this case 1. Observe this case one, right? What is happening internally whenever you define some variable? X equal to 10. Whenever you are saying x equal to 10, what is happening inside the memory, right? So internally, one object will be created with value 10 that is going to occupy some address, memory address. That memory address is written to X. Understand carefully here what X is storing. Now, from here onwards, I want the sessions to be interactive. You can unmute yourself and give your responses, whether your responses are correct or wrong. Keep going, right? X equal to 10. What X is storing? Don't say like X is storing 10. X stores this address. X stores this address. Whenever I say print X, it goes to this address and prints whatever present at that address. So what does print X means? Prints the content at that address. Prints the content at that address. What is the content? 10. If I want to print the address where exactly it is available, ID of X. There's one more function given ID function, right? Prints the address of X. Prints the address of X. What is the address? 103070. Print type of X. What is the type of X? Prints the data type of X. Prints the data type of X. Data type is what type? Integer type. So prints the content, prints the address, prints the type. Understand carefully here. Whenever you say print X, it goes to this address and prints whatever present at that address. Print ID of X prints the address where exactly it is stored. Type of X means based upon what value you are assigning. Based on that, it is as integer, right? Yes. This is case one. If you have got any queries, you can ask, you can unmute yourself and you can ask or you can type in the chat. From just to try to answer this, everyone, try to unmute and try to say, whenever I am saying x equal to 10, y equal to 20. Now try to answer, how many objects are going to be created?
Two.
Yes, two objects, right? For 10, one object. For 20, one more object. So it is going to occupy some memory address. That address is given to X. When this some address random, I'm giving random address, but where exactly it is stored, that address will be written. Now try to answer everyone. Whenever I say print X, what is the output? Try to say what is print X. Hmm.
10.
Everyone, 10, right? It goes to this address and prints that content at that address. Now try to say, if I say print ID of X, try to respond.
10.
103070. Unmute yourself and try to respond. Otherwise, you can type your answer in the chat. I'll be looking at the responses, right? Yes. I want the sessions to be more interactive as it's a programming language. Yes. Print type of X. Type, what type it is? Type of X. Int
It
type.
will be displaying the integer value, sir.
Yes, as you are assigning integer to X, type will be integer type. Now try to respond for this. What is print Y? Print Y.
20.
Print Y is 20. Yes, it goes to this address and prints whatever percentage. Print ID of Y 104080. The address. Type is what type? Integer.
Integer.
Because you assign an integer value. Understood this case to everyone? So two different variables X and Y with two different values 10 and 20 with two different objects with two different addresses. Right? Fine. Case 3. Go with the case 3, right? What happens internally? If I take X value is 10. Y also I'm taking. Now try to respond first. First up to here you respond. How many objects are created here? Yes, everyone. How many objects will be created?
2,
10.
sir.
2 objects. 2.
1.
Here observe carefully. Only one object will be created. Only one object is going to be created. Before creating object for Y, it checks any object with value 10 if it is already available in the memory. The same address it is going to Y. Means if X value is 10, Y is 10, Z also 10. Don't think 3 objects with 10, 10, 10 will be created in the memory. No. Only one object, the address will be given to X, Y, and Z. Only one object. Before creating objects for Y and Z, it checks any object with value 10. If it is already available, the address will be given to them. For example, if X value is 10, Y is 20, Z is 30. How many objects?
3, sir. 3.
3.
In that case, 3. But if values are same, one object. Just remember, if the values are same, only one object. If values are different, multiple objects. Can I say X, Y, and Z are sharing the same content to 10? They are sharing the same address. X, Y, and Z, they are sharing the same content to 10. They are sharing the same address. Can
Yes.
say like print X equal to print Y equal to print Z equal to the value is 10. Address of X, print address of Y, address of Z. 103070, right? Yes. Print X type, okay. Print type also type of X, print type of Y, and type of Z. Okay, it is going to be integer type. Understood this case 3, everyone? Right? Case 1, case 2, and case 3. Okay. Just 2 minutes I take. Case 4. X and X only I will take. X is 10, X is 20. X and X only I am taking. One object 10 with some address, it is going to be created and will be given to X. X equal to 20 means one more object with some more different address. Up to here it's fine. But whenever I say print X, what is the X value it is going to take?
10.
It always takes the latest value. 20. Your salary last year 50,000. Your salary this year 80,000. Print salary. Print is the latest salary, right? Print X20. Print ID of X. 10480. Type will be integer type. X can store only one address. X can store only one value. When you are assigning this, right, the previous one will be removed. Right? 4 cases you understood, right? I'll brief you more on this. So today, just I was briefing you about these things, right? Python reasons which makes Python super popular, Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes, editors, different IDEs, developing the first Python application within editor, right? Python data types and variables. Clear notes I'll be providing to you. You'll be getting also the videos. If anyone, if you have missed that last class video, you can check in that Zoom, right? A message is given by this online team. A message is given by the online team, right? You can see the demo video, right? Demo videos and the course content And if you can see the payment details and the contact details of the online team. And if you got enrolled with them, don't forget to share the screenshot of your payment to that mail ID provided. And one more thing, okay, tomorrow the link is going to be changed. Tomorrow the link will be changed. Suppose you are supposed to get enrolled to get the new link for continuing this course, right? From tomorrow. So everything will be practical oriented. There won't be nothing theoretical. So for every statement I type, you will be responding what will be the output. So interactive sessions, right? So this is the course content. Once you can go through the course content, what I'm going to discuss. So in brief, in depth, I'll be discussing about with many working examples from the scratch ground level to the advanced level. Why Python, history, applications, advanced versions, installation, flavors, Python operations, modes, interactive mode, batch mode, data types, constants, variables, comments, escape sequences, strings, operators in Python, different types, IDEs in Python, flow control statements, looping statements, strings, collections, lists, list operations, tuples, sets, dictionaries, functions in Python, modules in Python, modular programming, packages in Python, errors and exception handling, file handling in Python, object-oriented programming concepts, in brief, regular expressions, database access, Python data and time, operating system module, advanced concepts like iterators, generators, closures, decorators, web scraping, graphic programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, introduction to data science, Python Pandas. See, there are some modules which I'll be discussing separately, like Python Pandas module in brief, Python NumPy module in brief, Python Matplotlib module, which you can see the jobs are available. If you just go to this Matplotlib, NumPy, and Pandas module, this for the Python core and advanced, right? These 30 topics I'll be discussing in brief. Apart from that, people who go for Python full stack, right? Django framework will be discussed. What is Django web frameworks, Django installation, Django architecture, the project creation steps, application creation steps, Django views, templates, Django admin models, advanced concepts, and UI technologies like HTML in brief, CSS in brief, JavaScript in brief, and MySQL database, right? This what to be that is going to be discussed. Yes. Tomorrow the link will be changing. Yes, Raghu Kumar, yes, right, yes. Python is a kind of language like which is used everywhere in the high-end technologies and in the software field, right? So it's mostly used widely used programming language. Even different high-end technologies they are using it. So a lot of you can just Google and check Python jobs. Lot of lakhs of jobs for Python available, right? Just a second. Mm, Observe this, right? Yes. Some queries that code is good to start. Yes, you can, right? So one second, I'll come back to your query. Python core in advance, nearly 70 hours I'm going to spend. Not like 45 hours. I have 70 hours in brief, in depth, each and every point I'll be discussing. I'll be typing and showing you, right, line by line. So nearly like 2 to 2.5 months it takes. 6,000 is the course fee for it. Apart from this, people who go for Python full stack web development, right? UI technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everything is going to be discussed. Django framework with 15 applications you will be developing, right? One more framework like Flask framework, MySQL database, and a project, right? From the topics from 2 to 6, that also 70 hours, nearly 2 months, around 2 months. 7,000 is the course fee for it. So Python 70 hours, framework 70 hours, totally 140 hours. 2 months for this, totally 4 months. 6K plus 7K, 13K. But if you're taking the entire package with a single payment, it is 12,000, the entire package. Timings, see, let me make it clear about the timings. For the first 10 days, it will be at 7 p.m. Later, it will be at 9, starts at 9 p.m. So before you go with the payments, check with the timings, right? So what are the things I'm going to offer? You will be getting the live session videos of each and every session, right? So even if you're absent for a couple of days, you can just go to the recordings and you can check. Soft copy of the class notes, assignments and task work. Means based off the assignments and tasks only will get command on that. Okay, and WhatsApp group for technical discussions. If you get any errors, you can take the snap of it and post that error in the WhatsApp. Resumes and interview questions and live interactive sessions, right? And there's one more package available, right? I also deal with big data analytics. So if you in that Python will be given that Python 2 months course you'll be getting. So Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, and Python, these four things will be dealt in that big data analytics, where PySpark has got a great boom today. And for that, some Hadoop knowledge also required. Linux and Python, this 2 months course in advance, core and advance. This Python you need to attend separately from Monday to Friday, any of my Python batch, either this batch which you are handling. And these things will be only on weekends, Saturday and Sundays. For nearly for 12 weekends it goes. 15,000 is the course fee for all this, which includes Python also in that, right? And if you, okay, that's fine. Any other queries you got, anybody, right? Hmm. So from tomorrow, as I said, the link will be changing. You are supposed to get enrolled. You can see the payment details in the chart of the DURGASOFT and the contact details. Okay, that course content details, right? Fine. Any other queries? Yes. Fine. So I'm stopping for now. We'll continue tomorrow. So more discussion, right? Fine. Thank you all for your time. Bye. Good night.